Hey everyone, we've got a new player of the week selection. Let's take a look at them all. As always, I'll start with the lowest rated, Scherpen. We've got another 4-star goalkeeper, and he's not very good. Awareness, 79. That's really not great. Catching and parrying are both very poor. Reflexes 81, not the best. Good reach, and he's very tall, so he's a tall, reachy keeper, but beyond that, he's just not very good. If you support Vitesse, you might be really happy with him, but apart from that, yeah, he's really not great. Thiaw from Milan, our next 4-star. We've got 3 4-stars. Centre back, destroyer. He's got some important skills here down the right hand side for a defender, interception and blocker. 2 of the most important ones. He's not got all the skills you want from a centre back, but he's got some decent ones. He's got good pace for a centre back. He's physically quite strong. Good stamina, very good stamina for a centre back actually. And he's okay down the left, but this is where you're looking for a centre back down the middle. Defensive awareness 78. That's poor. That's really not great. Tackling 80, aggression 81, engagement 80. He's just not very good at defending, unfortunately. For a Milan squad, decent option to stick on the bench. Pacey centre back if you're up against some pacey strikers, maybe. But yeah, ultimately, unless you're a Milan fan, this guy's just not quite going to do the business, I don't think. Simmons next from PSV is the last of our 4-stars. They've made him a prolific winger this time, wide left. It's not the best Simmons we've had. We've had a player of the week Simmons before that was a whole player, but a bit better than this. You look at his skill set down the right, he's got all the dribbly stuff. If you like your skill moves, could be a lot of fun. One-touch pass and through passing, so he can create chances for you. He can still play down the middle, as you'd expect. That's where he normally is. His base card's AMF, I think. Fairly good pace, good balance. Stamina 81's okay. It's not the best. And look down the left. For me, he's just a little bit lacking. Offensive awareness 78 is all right, but it's not brilliant. Control and possession is decent. Dribbling, but someone with all his skill moves, and a lot of people like this guy. And what most people like about this guy is that he's fun on the ball. He's good at dribbling, but 79 for dribbling just might just hold him back a little bit in that regard. And then the passing, again, he's got one-touch pass and through passing on his skill set, but 81 for low pass isn't great for someone who's going to be a creative midfielder, whether he's playing wide or central. Finishing 80 though, that's decent. So yeah, he's got some qualities, this guy. He could do a job wide left or through the middle. But like I say, he's not the best Simmons we've had, and if you're not one of these guys who likes Simmons in the game, then he might not be quite your cup of tea. Next, we move into the 5-stars. We'll start with Pinnock from Brentford. Had a great game against Man City. So, good selection of skills for a centre-back. Got a lot of good defensive skills. Speed's alright for a centre-back. Decent. Physically strong. Stamina's good for a centre-back. Down the left, he's alright. He's not bad. But you're looking down the centre. For a 5-star centre-back, 84, 84, 88, 80. Especially that 80 for engagement, he's going to come up a bit short. It's just not quite good enough for me. I've got 3-star centre backs with better engagement and better defensive stats overall, to be honest. So a bit lacking. I think this is one of these players who, again, if you support the team he plays for, Brentford, you'd be delighted with him. And if you're new to the game, you're lacking centre backs, he could do a really good job for you until you get better ones, but you will get better ones. He's just not quite on that level. At 92, he just sneaks into the 5-star category. He's really not the best, but certainly not the worst either. So it could be useful for some people, but not everyone. Majer is an interesting one from Rennes. So good skill set. This guy's whole player CMF, but he's one of these players we often get these in player of the week, a centre midfielder whole player who's really going to be an AMF. He's got AMF, and with the whole player playing style, and you look at his abilities, he's very much an AMF. So first time shot, one-touch pass, through passing, pinpoint crossing. He's got product, long-range curler as well, and he's got a few skills as well for the dribbly stuff. So he's very much an AMF. You look at his attributes, the one where he's a bit lacking is speed. 76. He's not the quickest. He's not the slowest, but he's not the quickest either. So you're probably going to notice that. But elsewhere, acceleration is good kicking power, decent balance and stamina. like I say, he's an AMF. You don't need to worry about defending. You're not going to play him as a centre mid unless you've got someone very defensive behind him. He's not great defensively, but we get to the left column. This is where he's interesting. Offensive awareness 81 is good for an AMF. On the ball, really good. Passing is not brilliant, but it's pretty decent. And then down here as well, a nice little bonus. He's got really good set pieces. 86 for set piece taken with 90 for curl as well. Left footer. He could have some really fun free kicks for you. So, yeah, this is an interesting card for me. I quite like to get this guy. Really good on the ball. He's got lots of end product. And like I say, those set pieces could be a lot of fun. Next, we have Xhaka from Arsenal. This one's an interesting one. Obviously, Arsenal fans, I think, would mostly be pretty happy to get this guy. They made him a box-to-box. The thing with this guy is he doesn't have the defensive skills. And his defensive attributes aren't great, although he's obviously very aggressive, as you would expect. He's slow. He's got some high stats like aggression 93, kicking power 90, but they're not the most useful stats. But then he's got some good ones as well that are useful. 87 physical contact, so he's strong, really good stamina. Down the left, good ball control, terrible dribbling, tight possession is not the best, very good passing. He's a mixed bag, this Xhaka card. He's got some qualities and he's got some weaknesses. Going forward, long range shooting, first time shot, one touch pass. He does have some ability, and I think he could be a really useful card for Arsenal fans. If you've got an Arsenal squad, I think it'd be really useful for you. But I think on the whole, the weaknesses he's got outside of the Arsenal fan base, I don't think too many people are going to be clamoring to get this card. And next we have Grimaldo from Benfica. This is a very attacking left back. You can play him left midfield as well. I've got his base card. I use him as a left midfielder. So first thing you notice, he is rapid. He's got really good pace. He's got fantastic stamina, good balance as well. Defensively, you look at this guy as a left back. He's lacking. He's really not brilliant defensively. He can kind of get by if you play with very offensive fullbacks. You like your fullbacks getting forward a lot. You don't mind too much about the defensive side of things. You could certainly get by with him. Defensively, the only skill he's got is interception, which is important, but you'd like more from a fullback, I think. But then you come down to the left-hand side. He's very good on the ball. Passing for a fullback is good. If you're going to play him as a left midfielder, he might come up a bit short. You might want to be careful with his passing. Make sure you don't ask too much of him, although he does have through passing and pinpoint crossing. So he's still pretty decent on the ball. As with Majer, good set pieces. Worth keeping that in mind. Very good at free kicks. So ultimately, this guy is either a very attacking left back who's not great at defending, or he could be a left midfielder where you just got to be mindful of his passing stats not being the highest. Could do a job in both positions. I think, to be honest, if you play with wing backs, that might be his best position. I think he's probably most effective as a left wing back. Because as I say, he's got a bit of a defensive ability. He's decent with his passing and crossing, but he's good on the ball. He's got great pace, great stamina. I think as a left wing back would be where this card would be best, but a useful card for sure. And then next up, Lautaro Martinez from Inter. Not the best Lautaro card we've had, to be honest. Naturally, it's not a bad one. This is a good card. He's got the usual kind of skills you'd expect. He's not got the best pace. I'd have liked a bit more speed on him. Jumping 83 and heading 81. He's got the heading skills, so he'll get some headers for you if you're putting crosses in. Balance is decent, stamina is decent. Physical contact 73 is not too bad for a little guy. You look down the left where the most important stats are: 87 offensive awareness, 86 finishing. Obviously very good for Lautaro. On the ball, he's good. He's not brilliant on the ball, but he's pretty decent. His passing is quite good for a striker. This is probably where he's strongest. Probably the best thing about his card, I'd say. He's a goal poacher, centre forward, but 77 low pass, one touch pass and through passing. That's going to come in really handy in the build up, to be honest. I'll be mindful of that. I think that's probably one of the best things about this card. But ultimately, like I say, it's not the best Lautaro card we've had. It's a good card. It is a good card. It's just not brilliant. It's not one that particularly excites me. Next up, Musiala. This for me is probably the best card in the pack. Came off the bench and scored the goal that won him the league at the weekend, so that's obviously why he's in. They've given him a super sub for that reason. So we've got a super sub Musiala card. They've made him a whole player as well, normally a creative playmaker. So he can play down the left. They've got him down as a centre midfielder hole player. This guy is obviously going to be an AMF hole player. That's where he's best, with that play style, with his abilities. When we look down here, his attributes: got great pace, good balance. Stamina's not the best, got to be mindful of that. And down the left, offensive awareness 78 is not bad, but then he's brilliant on the ball, and his low pass at 89 is very good. Worth keeping in mind, he doesn't have through passing, so his through passes aren't going to be quite on that top level, but still 89 for low pass, and he's got one touch pass. He is going to have very good passing. First time shot as well, long range curler. So he's got 81 for finishing, 82 for curl. You could play him wide left as well and make use of that long range curler, especially with his good pace, the fact he's great on the ball. So this guy, I say he's best as an AMF with that whole player playing style, but he could be very effective coming in from the left hand side as well. Got a bunch of your dribbly stuff if you like your skill moves. Yeah, and like I say, super sub. So this card I think is fantastic. I think a lot of people would love this guy. It's for me the best card in the pack. I'll be very pleased if I got this one. And then we've got Griezmann. We've had Griezmann before. Nothing too exciting about this card, to be honest, compared to other Griezmann cards. He's got the skill set you would expect. It's another super sub card, which is always handy. Pace is okay on overall. Not the strongest on the ball. Stamina's pretty decent for a centre forward. You can play wide right, wide left, but he's not the quickest, so I'm not sure he'll be best there. SS and AMF as well, which is handy. Especially since he's got one touch pass and through passing. And when you come over to the left here, 82 low pass. It's not brilliant, but it's pretty good, especially for a striker. So you could play him deeper, SS or AMF. Offensive awareness is very good. Finishing likewise. Very good on the ball. Again, the passing's decent. Set pieces are decent as well. Like I say, there's nothing extraordinary about this card. It's pretty much what you'd expect from a Griezmann card. It is a very good one. So if you like Griezmann, if you've not already got him, I'm sure you'll love this card. It's not going to be for everyone, but it is a good card. And then finally, we have another Messi. This isn't the best Messi we've had by a stretch. Probably the one really interesting thing about it, they made him a whole player, which is going to be active at SS or AMF. So that's something a bit different about him. Offensive awareness is good, great on the ball as you would expect, good passing as you would expect, great finishing, very good free kicks. But you come down to the right hand side here, speed 68. Wow. He is slow. You're going to notice that with this Messi card. Yeah, acceleration is alright, great balance. Stamina 71 is poor. So he is lacking in some areas. The kind of skills you'd expect from Messi with his shooting and your passing and stuff. But yeah, ultimately, if you love Messi and you don't already have him, it's a good card to have. If you really desperately want a whole player Messi, good card to have. Otherwise, with the lack of speed and slight lack of other attributes as well compared to previous Messi cards, this just isn't that great of a card, to be honest. You know, in itself it is, but for a Messi card, really not that exciting, unfortunately. So there you go. Some good ones in there. Like I said, I think that Musiala card's a really fun card, really good one to get for anyone who gets that. Some duds, some good ones. But yeah, there you go. Hopefully you found that interesting. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.